Okay, friends, our Season 5 premiere is just around the corner. May 13th, mark your calendars. But first, I wanted to share some of my own personal favorite moments that made me laugh, or cry, or pee myself a little bit in the casket over the last year, so sit back, relax, and enjoy a collection of David's favorites. It rhymes. Kind of. Number 9, Mark Duplass.
You know, I farted so much, David. We both did it. And we did it with each other and on each other. And it was like we've been doing it since we were 12 years old, eating nachos and watching Beavis and Butthead. And that's why I'm just so grateful to be
What
your
a bond. What a bond.
Number 8, Jameela Jamil.
Sometimes accept that when life gives us lemons, we don't all make lemonade. Okay, some of us don't know how to make lemonade. Some of us just shit our pants and we should be left alone. I shit myself in Santa Monica Boulevard in the middle of a day. I shit all over the road. And nothing good came from that, you know?
Shitting yourself on Santa
I
Monica
didn't
Boulevard.
learn anything from that. And, you know, and I shit like up myself and down myself, which I didn't know was possible. I know it was the worst. And then there was this lettuce in the street, because Santa Monica.
To wipe
so of
with?
course there's a lettuce. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use that as toilet roll. And it's not porous at all. So it just just spread it everywhere.
Number 7, Kevin Smith.
Once I saw this shot, I was like, burn my fucking dead ass. Nobody needs to ever see this.
I have no idea
I
what
look
that
like a
reference
melting
was
candle.
about.
You know what I look like? I look like the motherfucker who gets out of the tub in The Shining and hugs Jack Nicholson.
Lucky number 6, Kevin Pollak.
My first act was lip syncing a comedy album. I did that from age 10 to 16, and then I started doing impersonations. So it wouldn't have been a joke. It would have been, you know, Jack Nicholson as a busboy. Or something like that.
The act that you were lip syncing,
Yes.
it wasn't the same one though, because you did it for multiples, correct? Or
It was the same routine
Yeah.
from one comedian's comedy album, but the sight of a precocious little Jewish kid lip syncing.
Just killed.
Yeah, because the material was hilarious.
Yeah.
The performer was hilarious. All I had to do was clear my throat at the same time and know the timing. By the way, for the record, it didn't in the liner notes say would go on to become the most prolific serial rapist in show business history. So,
Oh God. Okay.
yeah.
Number 5, Kumail Nanjiani.
I think I would want to go pretty traditional and be buried, just because all my grandparents are gone, and visiting their graves has meant a lot to me. I'm glad I'm able to go there, even though, you know, obviously you could have that experience anywhere, but just being there. So I think I would want that. I remember my grandfather passed away and I wasn't there. And then when I got there a couple of days later, I went to his grave, and that's the first time it became real that he was gone. And it was a very emotional experience, and one I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I got to have that feeling visiting him. So I think if I leave behind people who love me and want to visit me, I would like to. I'd like to have a grave.
Number 4, Flula Borg.
Flula was nice, body is dead now. Flula was nice, body is dead.
Hello, it's me, Flula Borg. I recently expired. Please enjoy that angel food cake. Kick it! And that devil's food cake as well. Sorry to Frau Krause for feeding our pet hamster in the classroom too much chalk. That's why he had diarrhea. Sing it, baby, yeah! Everyone, tune in to Gravel Conversations with David Dastmalchian. Yes, it's me, Flula.
Was nice, body is dead now.
Dance.
Number 3, Erin Moriarty.
And I'm someone, like I said, who would work out all of the time, get so much joy from exercise. I went from being someone who worked out 5 days a week and like really valued strength to not being able to walk down the block. And I'm just saying this to kind of relay the severity that some autoimmune diseases, the way they can manifest. And I wish I had known what was going on, but I just didn't, because prior to that, I was just exhausted all the time. And I thought that I was stressed out, but I also would see the doctor and I would sort of communicate something was going on. Something happened, which kind of, I'm still metabolizing the way it impacted me, which was the disbelief that you can sometimes see in people's faces when you're going through something that is, in that moment, life or death. Anyway, I remember like going to work and trying to figure out shirts that were appropriate to wear without a bra because I couldn't clasp my bra because my hands were too weak. Wow. It was so severe, David. It's something that like to this day, to put myself back into that state or like really go there mentally is hard for me.
Number 2, James Gunn.
If fucking somebody starts singing Danny Boy to me, I will instantly cry. It's about a dead Irish kid, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like something about my genetic, my dad was a cry guy, you know? He's very sentimental about things. And so that's something I've inherited. And we went to my great uncle's funeral in San Diego. And somebody got on it's not the stage, but the altar. It's a Catholic mass, and was singing Danny Boy. And my sister and I just both just instantly started sobbing. And then we're laughing at each other because we're sobbing so hard.
I'm sitting here crying, so you don't have to make people laugh.
Are
you surprised that I'm crying right now?
You're not really crying.
I actually am.
Oh
I thought
God.
about you dead, and it made me really sad.
Oh my God, stop it.
No.
Dude, the amount of times I've laughed at you crying is hilarious. And then all the time, every single time you're like, it's really hard. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty hard to make me cry. I remember one time I kind of got teary-eyed over something. I said, I don't cry very often. You go, I don't either. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You cry over everything.
No, I mean it. I thought I was just sitting here as you're talking about your death, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Without you.
Don't worry, you're dying way before me. I just want to have good relationships with the people that I love and who love me. You know, I had a friend died who had a lot of fucking messy relationships. And it was so sad going to that funeral, not only because he died way too young, you know, but because people had so much unfinished business with him. So I want people to be able to cry when I die, but to cry with freedom, to cry with, I loved that person and that person loved me, for them to know how much I loved them, and for them to know that I knew how much they loved me.
And here's number 1, Weird Al Yankovic.
A man who spent his entire life with the sole purpose of teaching people that it was okay to be a little weird. Because truly, the weirdos are the ones that change the world. If you want to take a selfie with the deceased, line starts on the right, cake's in the lobby. Thanks for coming.
Amazing. Thank you, Al. That was incredible. Wow.
Thank you, David.
And what you said resonates very much with me. The weirdos I knew in about 5th grade when my dear friend Jim Bowen and I would listen to your music, and we would sing many of your songs, and we would tape record them on a little desktop tape recorder that, like, you know, your parents would have when you were a kid. And we did Good Old Days.
Oh.
It was one of my all-time favorite songs.
Very dark.
And it's interesting because at that time, I knew something about me that was okay, because I really had this dark, twisted sense of fascination and humor with the world, but I didn't know if it was okay. And then your weirdness and your music and your celebration of that made me feel like, oh, this can be funny. Like, this is okay that I have such a dark and twisted part of myself.
David, you're okay.
Thank you, friends, for watching. I'll see you in another casket very soon. Join us at the funeral home, May 13th, for Season 5.